Hello Year 5 and welcome to Maths. I hope you found somewhere quite quiet and you have your pencil and your rubber and ruler, some paper to write on, or perhaps the printout so that you can get on with concentrating for this session. Today we're going to be learning how to recognise and use thousandths. If you're settled, then start the do now. Pause and unpause when you've completed it, and we'll continue with the answers. Ready? Okay. Number 1, 0.6. Number 2, 0.05. Number 3, 1.7. Number 4, 0.5. And number 5, 0.75. So let's get started. What do these deans represent usually? Good, the big cube, usually 1,000. The flat blue, 100. Good, the stick, 10. And the teeny tiny cube, 1. That's right. So we're used to these pieces of mathematical equipment representing these values usually. However, we're saying now that the cube represents, good, 1. What about this, the flat blue? Yeah, absolutely, 1/10. So if the cube were divided into 10 equal parts, that is what one of them would look like. What about the green stick? Excellent, 100th. So 100 of these sticks make up the big cube. The big cube was divided into 100 equal parts. This is what one part would look like. And what about this little small yellow one? Good, yes, 1,000th. Well done. Repeat after me, 1,000th. Good. Why is it 1,000th? Why do you think? Absolutely, yes. If this big cube was divided into 1,000 equal parts, this one cube would be what one part would look like. Well done. So now let's take a look at our place value grids. How would we represent this large cube? What's its value? Good, 1. Where would it go in our table? Yes, in the ones. So we would place it here. Good job. Remind me what this is again. Good. It is 1/10. And where would I place it here if I have 1/10? Yes, in the tenths column. Great. Have I forgotten something? Well remembered, yes. I have no ones, so I need to put a placeholder 0. So we read this as 0.1, and that's the equivalent of 1/10. And what about this one? Good, it is 100th. Well done. And how would this read on my placeboard? Good, 0.01. Excellent. Now, as for the cube, we need another column because this would be represented, say it, 1,000th. Yes, absolutely, 1,000th. So we would write 0.001. Good. If a large cube has the value of 1, we say 1. If a flat blue is 1/10, then we say 0.1. If the stick is 100th, it's represented as a decimal as 0.01. And that small cube, that 1,000th, is represented as 0.001. Good job. Okay, now it's time to make some connections. Have a go at filling in the gaps, which numbers are missing to complete the sentences. So take a look. Thousandths is equal to 1, thousandths is equal to 1/10, thousandths is equal to 100th, and thousandths is equal to 1000. Okay, pause the video and then come back when you're ready. So, welcome back. How did you get on? Ready for to call out some numbers for me? Good. Okay, so the first one. You say the number and I'll finish the sentence for the first one. You ready? Okay, go. 1,000ths is equal to 1. Good. Now you say the number and the sentence. Well done. Now you say the number and I say the sentence. Thousandths is equal to 100th. And the last one, let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. 1,000ths is equal to 1,000. Now, take a moment to look at the relationship. How many thousandths are needed to create the large cube? The blue flat, the stick, the small cube. Look at the fractions and how we've recorded them. It's really important to understand the connections between the Dean and the large cube, the flat blue, the stick, and the small cube. Now we're going to say what we see. How many flats do we have? And how do we say that? Good, 1/10. What about the sticks? How many do we have? 300ths. And how many thousandths? Good. So we would represent it as 0.134. Notice how I say 0.134 and not 0.134. Remember, we need to say all of the digits by themselves. So you say it, 0.134. And again, good, and say it with me, 0.134. Good. Okay, so let's see what it's made up of. We can see this through the Deans already. Now let's take a look at the fractions. We have 0.134, that's the decimal, and 134 thousandths, that's the fraction. The decimal and the fraction are equivalent. So I'd like you to tell me how it's made up. 0.134 is made up of, 0.1, 0.03, and 0.004. Now let's take a look at the fractions and how it's made up. What's it made up of? Good. Tell me. Yes. And this. Excellent. Well done. So here it is. Now that we know how they're made up, we can say things like there are 1/10, or 300ths, or 4,000ths. We can say that there are 3 decimal places. We can say the number is read as 0.134. We can say that there are 300ths, 4,000ths, and 1/10. Okay, so now it's time for you to have a go. I'd like you to draw squares, lines, and very small squares for the number 521 thousandths. I'd also like you to represent it in fraction parts as well as decimals in the way that we've done it. Pause the video and then have a go. Come back when you're ready. Okay, you ready? Great, let's take a look. So, as a fraction, it would be, tell me. 5/10, 2/100, and 1/1000. You can see that I would have 5 flats, 2 green, and 1 small cube. Now we have decimals. 0.521, 0.5, 0.02, and 0.001. And that's written as, 0.521. Oh, my decimal point seems to have disappeared. It goes right there. Okay, great. Try again. Here's another one. Remember, draw your deans, write it as a fraction and a decimal, and how you'd write it as a decimal. Come back when you've finished. Great. Okay, let's see. How did you do? So you should have 4 flats and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiny cubes. Now this is 405 thousandths. It's made up of 4 tenths as well as 5 thousandths. It's written as 0.405 and it's made up of 0.4 and 0.005. We write it like this, 0.405. Great. Now it's time for your independent work. I'd like you to complete these in the way that we've just done, where you're drawing and writing the decimal number as well as the fractions and decimals. You're going to write it in words as well. When you finish that, you can then complete this, task 2. And if you'd like, there's an optional challenge. Pause the video, go back, complete the tasks, and when you've finished, unpause and we'll go through the answers. You finished? Good job. Let's take a look at the answers. Pause the video to mark your answers. This is the second one. And this is the third one. As well as the answers for task 2. I hope you enjoyed that lesson and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.